What's up? It's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and today I want to talk about the Premier League top six and see how they've been doing. We're 5 games into the season, and I think we're generally seeing how things are going to play out. We're seeing things get back to normal. United's back after their rough start. Liverpool's starting to put some wins together, and we're really seeing the trend of them getting back to the top. And I want to talk about how every team's doing, uh, how they could contend for the title races, if they're going to be getting into the top four, and just how I feel about every team. So starting things off with Man City and yeah, they look very strong. I expect nothing less than a title defense and them to be very realistic contenders for the Champions League. They're just looking extremely strong. Under Holland, everything that you'd want to see in a player. Like, just a lethal striker, combining well, fit into that Man City team perfectly. The creativity's still there in the squad. And just every part of that team is looking really good, and you can't see them. It's going to be tough for any team to challenge them for the Premier League. Depth is a little bit of a concern. They don't have the substitutes that you'd like, but I think as they get fully back to health, and I don't think it's that much of a worry, especially when compared to Liverpool. They're dealing with issues right now. Arsenal, United, Tottenham. I feel like they all have the same issue. They don't have as much depth as you would like, but I don't think it's a worry. The defense has been a bit of a concern, allowing a lot of goals, but yeah, I really see their offense being able to cover for that, and I think their defense is going to get better as the season goes on. And yeah, I can't really see anything other than Man City winning the title again. But Arsenal are looking for contenders and might be able to challenge them. They've been looking very good. Gabriel Jesus has finally been that striker that they've been looking for ages. I wasn't ready to crown him that initially, but he's just been able to score goals at a great rate. That's been really good. Martin Odegaard's been a very strong player as well. Saka, Martinelli. It's a very young and dynamic attack that looks very just strong, and their defense has finally been figured out. Saliba has come into that team and has finally fulfilled that potential that he probably had this entire time, but they kept loaning him out. Pairing him with Gabriel looks very good. Ben White's been settling into that right back role well. Whoever they end up playing at left back, either Tierney or Zinchenko, I think it'll be fine. Maybe you want to move Zinchenko into the midfield. That's probably the only weak point of the team. I'm still not sold on Granit Xhaka, and I do see a bit more issues, not necessarily with depth, but if one or two, in particular, players go down, they could be in big trouble. I think Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus are crucial for this team, and if one of them get injured, I do really see Arsenal struggling. Like with Man City, if Haaland gets injured, they can go back to using either a Foden as a false nine or something. I don't think it's that big of a worry, but I am very concerned if Gabriel Jesus, if he loses form or gets injured. Hopefully he will not, but there are a little bit more worries to that. Next thing we'll talk about is Tottenham. I'm not going to say they've been looking great because the games haven't been amazing or anything, but they've been grinding out wins, and it seems very un-Tottenham like. They're winning games that you really wouldn't see them winning before. I think Conte's helping turn the culture around at Tottenham, and I think that's more crucial than anything regarding their style of play right now. And especially as players continue to get better, I'm expecting Emerson Royale to look really good later. Perisic has already been strong. Harry Kane's going to be good. If Richarlison can really get into the team, there's a lot of dangerous attackers here. And I think Tottenham, right now, it's more for the future. Just stay in the Champions League, keep being able to recruit, because they're looking like a really strong defense with Ben Davies and Eric Dyer back there, who, don't get me wrong, they're solid players, but not guys you can really expect to be in a team if you're competing for a title. So I'm really liking the look of Tottenham right now. I think Champions League's a realistic spot for them, and that's it, but it's a very good building block, and I like Conte being at the helm. Next, Liverpool. They're finally looking good again. A really late win, and one call went their way that I'm not sure about, but hey, they're getting wins. I expect Salah to pick up form pretty soon. He hasn't been great this year, but I'm expecting that to turn around pretty quickly. And as they finally get back to full health, they aren't as bad a situation as I thought they would. They're not far behind Man City at all. So if they get over this bad injury luck quickly, and the World Cup's going to come, and that's going to be a pretty big reset for the teams. I think they're going to be back to full health, hopefully. I mean, injuries can happen at the World Cup, and they're going to be really ready to make just a push in the winter. I think we know they have the quality in this side. it's just, I think right now they have to stay close enough to the title race that they can realistically contend for it. But yeah, they're doing that right now. It's starting to look a bit better, but I'm not sure how long this Liverpool team will be able to keep grinding out wins with, just it's an okay group of players, but there's a lot of guys in this group I'm not sold on. Like Harvey Elliott, huge prospect. I don't think he's ready to be starting for a Champions League team yet. James Milner still getting a lot of time. I still think Jordan Henderson holds back this Liverpool team, and they should be looking to replace him. But they're definitely, and Firmino up top, like he's obviously he does what he does very well, but I think they need like a definite goal scorer now that Mane's going for sure. So I'm not sold on this Liverpool team completely, but they've been doing well, and if they can stay close to the title race, I think they'll be in good shape. Then we got Manchester United, who are looking a lot better after a poor start. I'm cautiously optimistic about Manchester United because we've seen them flash good moments post Fergie. Like they had a couple of really good moments under Mourinho, a good run under Solskjaer. Like we've seen this before, but I think the encouraging signs are that their really good players are looking really good. Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane, they're showing that they're potentially world class players. Like we know how good Varane is, we saw how good Sancho was with Borussia Dortmund, and they're continuing to show their quality. I think that's the biggest thing because now you have players you can actually build around, really good players in the squad. You're going to add a Casemiro to that. Bruno Fernandez looks like he's still a strong player. It seems like Ronaldo's going to be committed to the team. You can't be positive about that, but if he's in it, that he's not the player he was, but it's still Ronaldo in there. And I've really been liking Luka Malacia. Martinez has come into the team pretty well. Diego Dalla, I'm not sure on Dalla because I don't think he's that great of a player, but he's been doing all right. De Gea is still De Gea. And I think there's reasons to be optimistic. I won't say they're going to be in the Champions League yet. I really like the look of Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool right now, and potentially Chelsea in the near future. But right now, there are definitely things to be encouraged about, and things are looking up for Manchester United. Lastly, we got Chelsea, who I think they're in pretty bad shape right now, but honestly, when it comes to Chelsea, they just go through like highs and lows. It's just a low of a new manager. Like, I'm pretty sure Tuchel knew what he was getting into when he became the Chelsea manager. He didn't think he'd be here for very long. He got a Champions League, and now he's going to go. I mean, like, that's just kind of how it is. We saw Roberto Di Matteo get fired so quickly after winning the Champions League. And, yeah, I don't think Tuchel lasts until January, which, like, this doesn't mean he's doing a bad job as a Chelsea manager. Like, I feel like when you're Chelsea, like, you just get the highs out, just get the highs, you know a collapse is going to come eventually. Like, and this isn't going to be a very low low. Like, worst case scenario, they qualify for the Europa League. And they're going to get another amazing manager next year, and they're going to go through this cycle all over again. So I don't think Tuchel's a bad coach or anything because of this, but things aren't going well. This attack looks terrible. Kai Havertz, I really don't think he's a natural striker. I know they're trying to make it work there, but I believe he's a lot better when he's played a bit more withdrawn and can get on the ball more. I understand his work rate, and he does do a lot of things well, but he's not going to be a Premier League level striker. Um, just a lot of the players really haven't been showing out this year. Mount really hasn't showed consistent quality. Ziyech hasn't worked out. Pains you to admit it, but Pulisic really probably needs to get out of Chelsea. I don't think if he does get consistent games, he's probably going to get hurt. Like, there's a pretty, like, the attack isn't looking good. Sterling's been all right, but Raheem Sterling, I don't think he's a world class player, but he's like honestly like a gatekeeper to like being a world class player. Like if you're a little bit better than Sterling, like a little bit more consistent with your finishing, with like all the other things he does well, you're probably at a world class level. But Sterling isn't. He's still a good player. We've seen him be involved in some very good teams, but he is who he is at this point. And their midfield's only getting older. With Conte, I I really like Kovacic, but he doesn't seem to be getting the game time that you'd expect. And I don't know, you just look through this team and you can see a lot of holes. but it's still Chelsea. Like, they've got great players. They're going to be good in the future. Like, I can see a new manager coming in, playing Havertz a little bit more withdrawn, and he looks world class. Getting a new striker in there. Like, it's going to turn around quickly. I think this is just the year, like, when's the last time this happened? Like, 2016, 2018. Like, yeah, Chelsea just has these low moments sometimes. It's going to happen again, is what it is. They'll be back. But yeah, that's my opinion on the top four, or top six teams right now. Look like Man City and Arsenal, they're going to be in the title race. Maybe Liverpool if they can stay close. Tottenham's been looking really strong. United's finally starting, like, they might turn the corner under Eric Ten Hag. I'm not sure. And Chelsea looks like the end of Tuchel's reign, but it's what it is. And yeah, that's all we're going to talk about. Looking pretty good with the Big Six. Might talk about relegation teams next. And yeah, that's all I'll talk about. See ya.